Welcome back, everybody, to Quake Pro League Week 15. I am 40 Lions, joined by the one and only Flea. Flea, how you doing? Been a minute.
Doing good, 40, doing good. Very happy to be here as usual. Short day today, just 5 matches, but we've got some really heavy hitters ahead of us.
Yes, so the Maxter Rafa match is postponed. It will be played later in the week and thrown on the YouTube. Start your complaining now, get it out of the way, chat, so we can move on. But we have a little bit of a recap to go over, so why don't we do that? Then we could talk a little bit about challengers that happened last week, and then we could talk about some other stuff because the game has had some updates.
Absolutely, but first things first, recap. First, we saw Chrom take on Nosfa. Chrom able to secure one map, but ultimately the Brazilian giant securing another win for him, winning 2-1.
Yeah, Chrom has had a rough ride. We'll see how he can try and adapt on LAN, but I think this season is pretty much just, he's on the chopping block, so to speak. I know the brackets are set up in double elimination, so there's not a relegation match per se, but yeah, he's got to turn it around. But then, Maxter taking this one 3-0 dominant fashion. And yeah, I mean, Maxter has the ability to do that against anybody. We've seen him falter a little bit throughout the season, but hopefully he's ramping back up as we get closer to QuakeCon.
Absolutely, Maxter currently 5th spot on the global leaderboards. Man is absolutely killing it, set to go into QuakeCon in that coveted top 8 spot. Then, of course, we had Strongsage take on Zip. Another explosive match. Strongsage securing himself the win, 3-0. Sounds, like more of a one-sided game than it was. Look at the scores, 8-8 with just a few minutes left on the clock in the previous clip. So it was a hard-fought victory for Strongsage. It deserved one, no doubt, but Zip definitely put up a good fight.
Yeah, and then hopping over to Wenger versus Avec. This one was absolutely fantastic. But in the end, Wenger takes it 3-0 over Avec.
He sure did. Now that would have been a spicy discussion on their little show where they talk about matches each week. So if you're not watching that already, definitely go check out Avic's YouTube channel because it's some A+ content. And then I believe not last, not least, but we had Sirius versus Razy. Sirius also having quite a good season, but unable to overcome a Razy.
Yeah, Razy on a tear. And then the biggest upset, potentially, for me, Zenecu versus Kilson. It's not the fact that he beat him, it's the fact that he took it 3-0. Flea, is this the rise of Zenecu? Is this going to be his QuakeCon?
It very well could be. Zenecu is looking so good, currently 6th spots on the ranking. And based on how hard he's been working, how much effort he's been putting in, if you haven't been following him on social media, you should, because he also posts content both of what goes in during the game, but also around it. The way that he prepares for the matches, the steps that he goes through. It's very informative if you're into just watching esports professionals go about their craft. And I really think that he can make some big waves at QuakeCon.
Yeah, it's always nice to see more of a day in the life, day-to-day stuff for a pro gamer, especially Zenecu. Sometimes you'll get lucky, you'll see a shirtless gym selfie. But anyways, I digress. That is the recap from 2 weeks ago. Last week, we had the South American qualifiers. Spoilers, if you want to meet the streamer, you have 3 seconds. But Yup took that one, so he's going to be at QuakeCon. Hopefully, fingers crossed. I know there's like visa and travel and all that stuff, but he has punched his ticket to the LAN and we will see him. And it should be fantastic. There's one spot left, Flea, and that is for the boys. North America qualifiers in 2 short weeks, and we'll see who can be the last one to get to QuakeCon.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the stream went live, right? You discussed some of your favorites, some of the people that you think have a good chance of making it.
Don't let anyone know in the chat.
No favoritism. I'm not going to comment on that. What was said off stream stays off stream, but it should be an interesting one. Like you said, one more spot left for the men in North America. So, yeah, let's see how that pans out.
Yep. We will see indeed, but focusing back up on today, week 15, again, we are going to kick off today with Strongsage versus Toxic. I mean, this is pretty much, I think, technically, you're the fact guy, you tell me. Newest, youngest player versus oldest, most you know, decorated, maybe not most decorated, but the veteran of the game. So this is pretty much the widest gap that you can get between two players, I think, in terms of experience. Is that right, Flea? Is that accurate to say?
I do believe it is, yeah. Especially now that, you know, we've lost some giants along the way, like Cooler, for instance, who's not currently part of the Quake Pro League. Hopefully he can rejoin us at some point. But you're right, toxjq is one of, if not the most veteran player in the league. We've seen him take his leave from the league, make his comeback. Now he's putting up, you know, he's putting up a fight, currently in 12th place. Not sure if he still has a shot at making it into one of those top 8 spots going into QuakeCon. I don't think he does, but Strongsage definitely still has that opportunity. Strongsage has had more bye weeks than anyone, I think, up until this point, so he still has a chance of getting a top 8 finish.
Yeah, I mean, as we take a look at the season breakdown for toxjq, rough ride for sure. A lot of 0-3s, which are unfortunate, but he has put up some dubs here and there. Hopefully this will be another one for him if you're a toxjq fan today. But overall, I think he might be able to just have to kiss that first day bye goodbye, because it looks like he's going to be playing all throughout the tournament. But flipping over to Strongsage, he's had a killer season. I think the best kind of rookie season we've seen. He has had some falters. He's in a bit of a, I don't know, up and down phase. I mean, playing some of the absolute beasts in this league is never easy. As we take a look at the breakdown for him, couple losses, couple wins, not too bad. I would say overall, he has nothing to be ashamed of, and he seems to be getting stronger. And if anything, from those losses, he should learn a lot.
And I mean, just focus on the wins as well, right? He's taken down Dramis, he's beaten Razy, he's taken down Chain. Strongsage is absolutely applying a lot of pressure on even the most tried and tested players in the league. So this man, 11th spot for his first showing in the Quake Pro League, and he still has room to grow even during this season. So nothing to be ashamed of indeed.
Not bad at all. So, knowing that now, I think we have the pick bands available and we can see exactly what we have in store between these two. And we will see. Strongsage, yep, I was going to say we'll probably see the clutch, and we do right off the bat. We have Awoken, Runes of Sarnath, Molten Falls. Flea, if you'll do me the honor of running through the picks and bands for the champs, please.
Absolutely. Starting it off on Awoken, we are getting the clutch, the big and mighty robot. So risky of a pick, few players even dare approach him. Strongsage, definitely one of those. He banned Strog, no surprises there, knowing how good toxjq is on those crouch sliders. But toxjq counters with Ranger, and I think Ranger is widely considered to be one of the best counter picks to clutch, because you've got the orb to just punch straight on through that shield, apply a good amount of damage, or you can use it to try and juke your opponent. Bait out the shield, teleport all the way on the other side of the map, and then you've got that significant cooldown that gives you a lot of opportunities. So map 2, Ruins is then going to be Anarchy, picked by Strongsage, versus toxjq on Sorlak. So we've got the two air control champions, a big body, a heavy champion, up against that light Anarchy. And this one, I think, might be difficult for Tox. Strongsage, good player on Anarchy. Speed is going to be so important. And of course, Anarchy still has a bit of an edge. With Tox being a much larger target, I think this is going to be an uphill battle for the Sweet. And then lastly, we get Molten Falls, where we get the Scale Bearer, which is always good to see. toxjq, I don't know if you remember, used to be one of the first to really play Scale way back in the day, even when he wasn't meta at all. So it's good to see him, you know, cycle that champion into it again, whereas Strongsage is going to be playing the Athena. You've got the hooks, you've got the speed, but same as map 2, pretty huge stack difference as well.
Yeah, and Strongsage, no stranger to playing Scale Bearer, so he has insight into what toxjq might want to do and how he might want to approach the game, and he probably has the counter for it. We will see. But looking at this breakdown, and Shad is super excited because, yeah, we spoil you. There's predictions. Go ahead and lock them in. Flea, what do you think? Who's going to take this one?
Difficult one. I'm gonna say Strongsage. I think that Strongsage is gonna take map 2, to be certain. And then, yeah, map 1, it's all going to depend on how good toxjq is against playing clutch. I don't think it's a champion he's played all that often, or that he had to face all that often. So I'm thinking Strongsage taking map 1 and 2, and then Tox securing the third one.
That
would be my prediction.
I think that's fair, and it really comes down to which Tox is going to show up and if the 7-minute curse is going to unfold again. And I'm bringing it up is probably a really bad sign, but I can't
40.
not bring it up because every time I see Tox play, it's in the back of my beak right here. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he can close it out. Hopefully he gets a good start, but we will see. This is going to be a good one between the youngest and I think the oldest player in the league, and predictions are still live. So chat, lock them in. Let's see where you stand. Actually, real quick, I mean, 62% in favor of Toxic, at least map number 1, a little bit of respect on the name. I like that. I like that.
Absolutely. I mean, you gotta respect Tox, right? Like you say, he's the oldest player. Very true, but on the other hand, that also makes him one of the most experienced one. This man has been around, has beating the hell out of players, maybe half his age for who knows how long, right? So Toxic absolutely got to put some respect on the name. We've seen what he's capable of, that aim, the LG, the rail, his tools of destruction. Let's see how Strongsage is going to be able to counter that with the clutch.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, the Terminator doesn't really age, so it doesn't really apply here. But we are going to be live on map number 1 here shortly. Week 15 of the Quake Pro League is officially underway. Starting off with Strongsage Toxic on Awoken, and we're starting off on Strongsage.
Strongsage getting that heavy spawn, looking to immediately pressure Tox near the LG. Now, Strongsage knows that he's got to be careful, right? He didn't have the LG, can't take those mid-range fights. Best he can do is go for his cheeky rail. And now to prevent Toxic from getting a railgun of his own. So both players are kind of still looking to complete their arsenal. Toxic, no rail, no rockets. Very limited in types of fights that he can take.
Nice rail. Oh, make it double. It's going to be trouble. Tox living on a prayer right now. Oh, another rail, but I like the play from Tox. Good dire orb shenanigans, but it might be all for naught here as he's stuck. The shield comes out for a little bit of insurance. Rail into the drill. Can he finish it? Misses with the rail. Tox still hanging on by a thread, tickling with LG, and Strongsage kind of disengaging and just gobbling up everything on the map, knowing that Tox is low, doesn't have any resources to work with on that side of the map.
Very patient play by Strongsage. I was definitely expecting him to just jump down below and brawl it out. Oh, here comes a super shot. He's so brutal. I mean, Clutch, he's a fridge 40. It's like missing the side of a barn, right? You basically can't help but hit those shots. Strongsage, though, very quick on the refrag. Might net another one here. Toxic is in a bad spot. Good rocket. Will delay Strongsage at least for now. And each player gets one major item. Lots of rails being exchanged. And Toxic, fearless on the drop down. Gets himself the second frag, but this is the risk when you're playing against Clutch. Yes, he's big, but he's also fast. And when he gets up in your face, just off spawn, that base stack combined with something as simple as a shotgun can be enough. So Toxic really has got to find a way to just get the frag clean and stabilize. There we go, that's good. That's exactly what he needed.
Yeah, that push. Strongsage getting the Mega in time, but it's looking dire. There's the shield. Good trap here. 57 HP and a net rail with 3 HP, and that Tox will finish that one. Tox looking pretty good right now, punishing and making Strongsage play a little slower, and he's just not willing to. He's throwing the body at it, Flea.
No major items up for another 10 seconds. Tox. Not too healthy. Both players kind of playing it patiently. Strongsage doesn't have the shield right now, so he knows that he cannot just bully his opponent. Tox lands the rail, lands another. Will be able to take heavy. This is good for Toxic. Oh, that's a bad rail to take though, but the timing there is sweet. Taking that fight after landing 2 rails, that basically burns Mega, and then heavy still spawns for Tox. So that was good time to take that engagement. Unfortunately, unable to capitalize on it. And will drop a frag.
Wow, absolutely deleted in Banana with those rockets. Shield for a little bit of insurance. He's able to snag the Mega, make his way back to the heavy, but a little bit too much VTech on that one. Runs into the wall, misses the opportunity, but this punish should be pretty good here as Tox just fighting for his life, trying to hit rails, and he clutches it out, Flea.
Toxic, 1, 2, 3, sold to the Swede of the awesome rail. Now Toxic dancing, dodging around those rails. He's got a lead, 2 frags up, but it's precarious. Strongsage trying to apply more pressure, but these rail engagements, just 36% railgun accuracy for Strongsage. Whereas Tox, 61, of course, an easier target for him to hit as well, but Strongsage He's struggling.
Toxic diving in, trying to refrag. The shield has to be popped just to stay alive, so Strongsage will have that on cooldown. Does get a light armor, but still extremely weak. This opens up the map for Tox, but he won't have the Dire Orb to pivot that quickly between the two items. So opportunity here for Strongsage to grab a rail and the heavy. He will miss the rail, but does secure the heavy. So a little bit of stabilization here, still trailing by 1.
Toxic now not really trying to cement himself in the center area of the map. Oh, there we go. Shield comes out. Oh, the orb, he fumbles it. He hits the side of the pillar. That's exactly what I was talking about at the start, 40. Why Ranger can be such a good counter to the robot, right? You can just use that orb to get out of a sticky situation. And it would have worked if Toxic had not kind of messed up the shot, clipping the side of the pillar. Oh no, Toxic. I don't know about this one. Little too aggressive of the push. Strongsage had the stack, he had the heavy to work with. And is now 2 frags up.
Nice rail, but the Dire Orb to close the gap and tickle him to death. 7-6 now. Strongsage only up by 1, shield up, Mega secured. Still moving around well, but Tox has got to put a little bit more on this here. So the name of the game appears to be rails from both players, at least from Strongsage. Slowing things down here, taking control of the T-Con, and oh, you gotta love that new Tribalt skin. Let's talk about it. Water balloons all around, summer updates out, check it out. Through the telly, and Tox takes out Tox.
Did manage to do a decent amount of damage though, but certainly not enough to just force a refrag. I don't think Tox had the timing on Mega. Might pay the price. Needs to land the shot now. Can he connect? Tox missing. Some costly misses there, 40. Kind of uneasy, uncertain about that switch between rail and then back to shoddy, back to rail. Definitely could have cleaned that up in a cleaner fashion than what he did, but at least Toxic managed to stop the bleeding. He now knows when Mega is up, he's already in position. Strongsage, even with the shield, cannot just push in. Yeah, takes so much damage. Strongsage, can't believe he stuck around for that one.
Yeah, with the shield
Don't know
up,
what the plan was. Yeah, was he just hoping to out LG Tox and then just be able to jump onto the Mega? I don't know, but I feel like he should have left very shortly after starting that engagement. That wasn't gonna go anywhere.
Yeah, wanted to keep the pressure on, but should have just disengaged. Now tied at 7. Good rockets, though, so he's right back on top. And a nice rail off the spawn. He could pivot, grab Mega, has enough time to get to the heavy as well, so this is a big opportunity for Strongsage to really take control of this. And it's around the 7-minute mark, just saying, Flea. The Tox slides in and takes that heavy and makes sure that it's not a snowball effect here.
But now he's in a bad spot. Oh, he just orbs in. No! One more shot would have done it. The 7-minute mark, 40. I hope this doesn't go the way that you were anticipating.
Don't blame this on me. Don't you put that curse on me.
Good rail by Strongsage. Heavy spawned in just a second. Both players missing shotguns, but it is Toxic who finds the kill shot. Oh, he still goes through. I feel like he was not intending to follow through with the telly. But there we go.
Wow.
Somehow it works out. Somehow Strongsage unable to connect with the rockets, and Toxic holds his own. Yeah, even sends his opponent back. Strongsage unable to secure the railgun right there. And now we're all tied up 9-9. Also worth noting, 40. Strongsage is hitting 50% LG, Toxic down to 38. Not the numbers I was expecting, given that it's Tox trying to aim at the robot at a clutch. I'd expect the inverse, to say the least.
Definitely interesting. He is hitting 66% rail for what it's worth, but Tox, big push right there. Misses with that rail as Strongsage fades away. Mega's going to be up shortly. He's taking control of the resources in T-Con and doubling back, making sure that stack is as big as possible for the last minute and a half here. Is Tox also stacking up off the resources from the banana side of the map, trying to slow things down, all tied up at 9. Good rail through the telly. A little bit of shotgun damage from Strongsage, but he's going to want more than that. More importantly, still claiming resources across the map, forcing Tox to play a little more defensive.
He should. Dog's gotta, I think, dial down that aggression a little bit. Mega up in just a second. Strongsage. Feel like this is a repeat of that fight we saw earlier. Getting stuck in an LG fight. Luckily though, Strongsage disengages well in advance before things get out of hand. Oh, that's such a good push by Strongsage! He figured that toxjq would just keep spamming the tri-bolt and just drop down in between, and the cooldown on that gun is pretty significant for 40, so there was nothing toxjq could do. That was
Amazing
such a
rails as
brazen
well.
push. Absolutely, yeah. Great play by Strongsage there.
Oh no, and the Dire Orb Hail Mary, and that's not going to end well either. Strongsage cleans that one up easily, up 2 with 25 seconds left. I mean, can Tox really come back with no orb?
"15 seconds. Robot is fast. Tox needs to get this kill now. Even going for the desperate rocket jumps, but I think it is too little, too late. Indeed, Strongsage outmaneuvers him at the end, and toxjq unable to catch up with him to find the frags he needed. Close game till the very end, right? It was all tied up with, what, like a minute left to go, and then Strongsage, that one drop down, very calculated, ballsy, brazen, but he knew what he was getting himself into. toxjq, I don't think, had any LG ammo to work with at that point either. But yeah, probably should have relocated, tried at least a different gun, perhaps a little bit sooner, because now it was just too predictable, too easy for Strongsage to find that opportunity.
Yeah, that felt like just a brawl from start to finish. Maybe the last 2 minutes were a little more calculated, as we saw that drop down that you talked about was perfectly timed from Strongsage to really get the edge. But other than that, very back and forth. A lot of refragging, a lot of plus forward, no fear from both players. And I love to see it because that is NA Quake, Flea, all right? But anyways, yeah, fantastic display from Strongsage. A little bit crazy on some of the pushes, but again, it almost feels like it was calculated and you kind of knew, like, okay, I can get the refrag as long as I do enough damage, which he was fortunate enough to do most often.
Yeah, he sure was. I don't think we get to see the refrag, or that one drop down kill. No, wasn't included in the highlights. I was hoping to get to see that one, but here we go. We get the final score, 11-9. Close game, a brawl, like you said, from start to finish. Ultimately, though, Strongsage coming out on top, deciding it in the final seconds of the series. Map 2 now.
Still heartbreaking, though. It wasn't 7 minutes, really, but still a little heartbreaking. But still, decent display from Tox, I would say, as it was, again, a brawl on both sides. Going into Ruins, do you think it's going to be a little more tactical, or are we going to see a little bit more just flying across the map at each other? Because I'm all for it, Flea.
I think that's exactly what we're going to see. Yeah, just looking at the speed of these champions, like Strongsage has been playing really aggressive in the first map, and I don't think he's going to be toning that down now that he's on Anarchy. This is the one that I was the most worried about when it comes to Tox. So, I mean, my prediction was Strongsage wins map 1 and 2, and then toxjq takes the final one. So that's still what I'm expecting to happen after that first match. toxjq still looking good, right? At least for the first part of the map, very controlled. Towards the end, more aggressive. He also kind of needed to be more aggressive because time was not on his side, but toxjq is looking good, so is Strongsage. This, I think, is going to be an aggressive map. Kind of a brawl. Let's see if toxjq can, you know, put that extra weight that he's got playing Sorlag to good use. He's got the acid spit, extra DPS. On the other hand, Anarchy has got a little bit more speed, more mobility. He's got the regen to get that extra health going. So, yeah, both players have got their pros and cons. I feel like this is favoring Strongsage, but, you know, toxjq absolutely could take it home.
Looks like 63% of chat agree with you and Strongsage on map number 2, at least. So we will see. Hopefully more plus forward, more bloodbath action. That's what I'm all about. We'll see. But Anarchy versus Sorlag, it is going to be interesting one. Speedy air control champions on both sides. We'll see exactly how this starts off. Map number 2 between Strongsage and toxjq is live here at week 15 of Quake Pro League.
Whoa. Starting off once more on Strongsage's point of view. He's gonna go for the mega side of things. Not the spawn he was hoping for. Generally speaking, when you're the light champion, you want to prioritize the heavy. Now, of course, it's not always your choice, right? toxjq had the better spawn to go for heavy, and it would have been reckless for Strongsage to challenge him that early on. But now he is lacking some of that precious armor. Strongsage very careful, very disciplined. He was looking at the LG, the final part of that unholy trinity that he was looking to get, but he figured it was too risky to go for it. He's biding his time. He's going to be able to pick up Mega again. He's actually delaying the pickup, significantly so. 11 seconds between the items. And probably now he's going to try and make a play for the LG.
Yeah, I would imagine play for the LG and then try to get to heavy is going to be the setup for Strongsage here, but still being very careful, doesn't want to get caught out. Secures the LG. Now, will he try and make a play on the heavy? He's going to go the back stairs. Toxic's right there. And I think they may have hurt each other here, as again, Strongsage hears the pickup, so he still has the timing, but now he has better positioning to defend this Mega. The spit coming out from Tox won't really do anything. LG on LG. And what? Tox, what just happened?
Toxic hit nothing for like the first second and a half of that encounter. Strongsage figured he had it in the bag, decides to drop down. No, says Tox, this ends here. But just like the previous map, as soon as that first frag is out of the way, there comes the unbound aggression, the push for the refrag. And we're all tied up.
Christ. I thought that Strongsage had him dead to rights. No biggie, does get the refrag, now has advantage, could tickle this one out as well. Ooh, the Mega pickup saves his life, but can Tox get away? Strongsage repositioning here. Toxic knows.
Both players got a pretty good read on the other's position, especially Toxic now that he heard the drop down. But he needs health, he needs armor.
I see.
There we go. We'll at least put him above that railable threshold. One rail won't kill him. But in stacking back up, he's basically given up full control. I don't think he's got timings. Probably he's got a general idea of when heavy is up, but Mega, I don't think he's got a clue. And Strongsage is now very stacked, plus he's got the smaller hitbox and the higher mobility. So Toxic is in no position to take a fight just yet. Wants to first get some more information, and ideally, a little bit more armor as well.
Nice slow pace from both players as Strongsage takes a peek around the corner and Tox was tucked right behind that wall. So I think Tox has both items in his head now for timings. He's played this well, staying out of sight, but keeping close enough to keep the timings, and now he can kind of form an attack as he wishes on either item.
Strongsage is hyper aware of what Toxic is up to though. Like, he knows. He hasn't heard his opponent for like a minute now, and he knows that Toxic is waiting around the corner somewhere. That's why he's so careful, so cautious, not to just blindly jump into that center area of the map. Here we go. Engagement kicks off. Rock is being exchanged by both. That would have been a big rail for Tox to hit. That could have signaled the push, but it's actually Strongsage. Oh! Strongsage so quick to reposition. Toxic now taking a barrage of rails off the spawn as well. And again, for do you find ourselves in the same position as before. Toxic weak, outgunned, looking for some refuge, but unable to.
Sorry, Strongsage just made that look easy. Like, it's just lay up rails and then just pushing in knowing that he was weak off the spawn. Just fantastic play from Strongsage. And earlier, I thought he was pathing to get LG, but really he just doubled back to hit some crazy rails off the jump pad while Tox was trying to get the light armor. So really, really well played from Strongsage, knowing he owns the map at this point and being able to push his advantage and deny other items off the map from Tox.
12 major items for Strongsage, 5 for Tox. Gonna be a significant disparity. Oh my goodness, how is Strongsage still doing so much damage with those rockets? That's what I imagine Tox is thinking after that engagement. Oh, look at that, the push! Toxic. Showing some bite right there. I don't think Strongsage was expecting him to chase through, especially since it was Tox who took most of the damage in that previous engagement. Toxic, no armor to work with. Out comes the LG. Nearly works, nearly works. That one missed rocket by Strongsage
almost cost him his life.
Almost cost him dearly, yeah. Oh, Mega up in 2 seconds. Oh! Strongsage lingers a little too long. And the damage over time, the DOT catches up with him. One more tick. And Mega would have spawned, but he doesn't quite get to that point.
Yeah, at that point, just living on a prayer saying, please, please spawn, please. No, Tox gets caught out again. It's a little sloppy. The rail, will he save his life? One more, looking for the angle, and both players so weak. Machine gun, but rail will prevail for Strongsage. Just hanging in there, keeping that out, and knowing the next rail will win. Machine gun is flying in from Tox. Doesn't really want to chase. Does spit just in case the tele play comes out. So Strongsage might hit a little bit of that, but goes straight for the health bubble. So we're getting sloppy out here, Flea. Love it.
I'm sure you do. 4 frags of a lead for Strongsage. I think this is the biggest lead either player has had this entire series. Tox still 3.5 minutes to mount a comeback, but it's gonna be difficult, especially when rockets like that hitting him straight to the face. Toxic tried to force the spawn, didn't quite get the one he was looking for. Now heavy up in 2 seconds. Toxic, he's got to pressure this one rail. He knew he couldn't stick around. 86 points of health. Can't take a rail engagement when you're the big champion then. And now Strongsage walks away with the heavy. Here we go. Toxic finally starts stringing together some of those rails. 75% rail accuracy for Strongsage versus 33 by Tox. That's nasty. Strongsage has done nearly as much damage with just the rail as Toxic has done with every single weapon combined. That's what I was worried for at the beginning, 40, just the difference in size and the mobility. Strongsage having such an easier time landing those shots, just sticking back in the rail, abusing it, making it work nicely.
Big hundo there from Strongsage as he disengages. Does concede the Mega, which is good for Tox. Now the fight. Oh, this rail. Tox is doing so well. He's not hitting all his rails, but he's hitting the ones that matter. But Strongsage claps back. Both players extremely weak. Tox will drop down to claim the heavy. Strongsage grabbing the light. Inject will be up in 7 seconds. Can he survive the Mega? Will be secured by Tox as well. So opportunity here in the last 2:10 for Tox to actually come back on this. And he's hitting some good rails to keep him in this, Flea.
I gasped for a moment because Strongsage rail actually knocked Toxic down when he was low and the Mega was behind him, meaning that he couldn't just go back to Mega. But it ended up working out beautifully for Toxic because Strongsage disengaged and Tox was able to get Mega or Heavy first and then go up to Mega. But now the issue is not the stack, it is the time. 1 minute 40 seconds left to go. Strongsage in position for the Mega. Tox, he needs to land these shots now. Spit is there. Oh, it's still active?
Oh, 5 HP and Tox drops down with the rocket, keeping the pressure on. Strongsage played that well, had the Mega mid-fight to try and heal him back, but Tox plays it even better, using the spit and also dropping down, knowing that he's weak. Now we have 1 minute 20 left, Tox trailing by 1. Rails for both players, missing just by the side, as Strongsage able to claim the heavy and make his way back to the Mega.
That was unfortunate for Tox. He was actually given a huge gift with Strongsage jumping around the corner with nothing off spawn. And somehow he just slipped through and stole away the heavy. That should have been a frag for Tox. Here we go. We're entering the final minute. Tox caught in a bad spot. LG comes out, won't be enough. Strongsage, 22 points of health, lives. And even lands a nice little rail right there. Toxic, oh, he's going to regret not capitalizing of that engagement where Strongsage just rushed through the middle with nothing to his name. And now, half a minute left to go. Strongsage, he's got the injection back up. Pops it right away, now even gets the Mega. Or actually, does not get the Mega, but at this point, I don't know if it's even going to matter still. Toxic in hot pursuit. He's lacking the speed. And I don't think Strongsage is going to allow him to catch back up.
Don't think it matters. Too little, too late on this one. Strongsage again, just doing just enough. Even if Tox can get this one, it's in the bag.
Yep.
Strongsage, good rockets, almost closing it out. But at the end, again, 7-5. Strongsage doing just enough to have a little bit of a buffer where that last fight isn't super stressful. And he's able to take this series 2 maps back to back. Like you said, Flea, it can all happen the way that you said.
Sometimes I hate being right, 40.
No, you don't. Don't lie.
Sometimes you hate it. No, but what's interesting to me is how both of these two maps, I feel like, have been decided by just, one key moment. That drop down on map 1 on Awoken when Toxic was spamming the tri-bolt from Heavy. That one Strongsage map 1. And then map 2, just that super messy, sloppy encounter near the railgun, where I don't think Toxic was expecting Strongsage to just rush right through the center of the map off spawn as a light champion. No armor, no guns. And Toxic just kind of jumped by him and was like, wait, what, he's here? And Toxic reverse course, tries to land the rail, unable to connect with the shot. Strongsage walks away with Heavy, and then it's like, yeah. That engagement again, if Toxic had been able to capitalize off that, could have been a very different story.
Could have been, but unfortunately for Tox and Tox fans, it was not. 7-5 as we take a look at the weapon breakdown there for map number 2 on Ruins. Predictions are up for map number 3. We're going to head over to Molten Falls shortly. Athena for Strongsage, Scalebearer for Toxic. And yeah, map breakdown, or series breakdown scores. It's just, you hate to see it. You hate to see it. But congrats to Strongsage. I mean, that's a series victory against a veteran. He's playing his game. He's not intimidated by, he doesn't care what your name is and how long you've been playing the franchise. He's going to play his game and he's going to stick to it.
Absolutely. And now map 3, 40. This is the one where I, from the start, said that, this is the one, if Tox wins a map, it's going to be this one. It's going to be Molten Falls. This is the one where, in my opinion, he's got the best shot at winning. Toxic has played Scalebearer from basically the very beginning. When just about every other player was avoiding him, Tox is one of the few who is making this very off-meta pick. Now, he's kind of coming back around to it. We're coming full circle. Tox picking the scale up once again. Big stack advantage. Yes, Athena, super fast, super mobile, but also not the most common pick on this map. You see her more often on Blood Covenant, where she's really like S tier, right? On this map, Molten Falls, a bit less so. So I think that if Toxic plays this well, he's got the best shot of securing the win that he's had all day.
Yeah, I think the key might be being a little frugal with the grapples too, because if you get caught out with none of those, Scalebear's throwing the shoulder, and it's going to hurt a lot on a light champion. So we'll see, though. I mean, Strongsage has to be feeling pretty good, pretty confident. The way that he's been playing has been just enough to topple Tox twice. Don't really see too much of a change in how he wants to play, because, again, he wants to establish dominance, play his game. For those playing the home version, the last server was on NA, if that matters at all to you, as we go into it. Map number 3, Molten Falls, between Strongsage and Tox is going to be live. Can Tox clap back and willfully be right to start the day of week 15? We will see shortly, about 10 minutes from now.
Strongsage getting the rail spawn, picking up Heavy as well. Oh. Fumbles that first hook, but lands a nice rail. Another one, Toxic. A third. Oh, can he get the win here? Switches to the shoddy and wins that first fight. 3 gnarly rails back to back to back. Toxic actually in hot pursuit, trying to chase this one down. Does abandon the chase for now. Heavy delayed by a few seconds. Toxic actually making a move for Mega. Are we going to see a confrontation? No. I think Toxic was just kind of checking to see if Strongsage was there. And now just look at the stack difference. Strongsage, no armor to his name. Toxic, the Galactic Warlord. Ready to punish. Oh no, that's a bad rocket to take.
Good God. Just deleted off the map.
Toxic trying to take this fight. No railgun. He's really banking on Strongsage missing those shots, which he is not. And already 3-0 of a deficit for the Swedish Terminator. You got a feel for him though. Those 3 consecutive rails to begin with, and then the rocket to the face just when he catches him with a stack advantage.
Yeah, the rocket and banana was fantastic, but these rails are just insane from Strongsage. Tox making it a little bit easy for him, just running straight at him.
Yeah.
Has to reconsider the strategy here. Nice little play from Strongsage. Good movement, and just, again, easy layup rails for Strongsage. 4-0, not even 2 minutes in.
68% railgun for Strongsage. 0 for Tox. Toxic currently sitting at 400 damage total. Strongsage, 1000 with just rail. This is a slaughter. Toxic, just unable to match the damage output. Can't compete, can't keep up. There we go, finally, the push through the teleporter, rail to the back. Heavy is up. This should be Strongsage's pick, yeah. He walks away with it. Toxic nowhere in the vicinity, unable to punish. I don't even think Toxic has a clue when it actually spawned. But he's got to be careful with these rail engagements. Unfortunately for him, though, that might be the only thing he gets to work with. Because Strongsage knows what works, right? Strongsage knows that he can just keep playing the runaway game, use those defensive rails, and he's clearly got a leg up over his opponent.
Yeah, prime position right now. 3 minutes in, 3 frags up, hitting all the rails he needs, keeping good distance. And again, early on, Tox was just giving him all these angles, running down hallways straight at Strongsage, making it easy. He's decided to revise the game plan a little bit more right now. Strongsage still maintaining the top. There's the bull rush, there's the grapple, and there's a great rail mid-air to keep the damage high on Tox and try and chip away at some of that stack.
I'm liking the grapples. This is the second time, maybe the third, that we've seen Strongsage just use the grapple to get out of the way and dodge the bull rush. Like, he doesn't even always wait for the bull rush to be used. He just predicts it and then hooks out of the way, making it very difficult for Tox to connect with that ability of his. And that's denying a lot of utility to the Swede, who is now just a really big target. Takes a while to build that momentum too. And now Strongsage's got both major items. Big stack advantage. Toxic still making a move for Mega. LG's looking good. The LG is looking great. But that stack into the rocket. Strongsage expanding his lead ever more.
4 frag deficit for Tox now, and just a whole face full of rocket around the corner yet again.
Oh, he was at 87 points of health right there. Nearly made it to the bubble. Oh, look at these angles. Oh, one more will do. Yeah, this has got to be so demoralizing when you're Tox. Like, what do you do, 40? Strongsage is
violently
relentless.
cry, I think. Maybe that's
what you would do, but
yeah,
this is
100%.
Tox we're talking about. He's gonna see this one through till the bloody, bitter end. But just every single time that Toxic makes a push, he gets peppered by unreturned rails. And when he does get close, the rockets are brutal as well. But hey, he finally gets a frag. 5 minutes, 5 kills. It's doable. Here we go. Right off the bat, another bull rush. Strongsage quick to maneuver himself out of the room. Does not want to stick around. Now, Toxic. 35 seconds without that ability of his. Well, Strongsage will have another hook right now.
Strongsage just playing it so well. Punishing, as you said, getting so much damage off. Even when Toxic is able to get in there and actually get the frag, the exchange rate is terrible. It's not in his favor. Strongsage with another great rail, hooks out. Big damage from Tox there. He's able to claim the territory and get this heavy, but can he pivot back and get the Mega in time is the question. As time is ticking, 4 minutes remaining, 5 frag deficit for Tox and Scale. Somewhere Wheat is throwing up in his mouth probably, saying, I told you so. We'll see. We've seen crazy things happen before. You just have to believe.
Oh. Strongsage. Just look at how fast he is as well, just hooking himself through the teleporter, getting that extra little bit of speed. He's already in a position to punish Tox. Rocket's brutal. Nice little bit of rocket chip damage there. But the heavy does go to the American player. Toxic realizes he can't stick around. Has to contend himself with Mega. But what do you do now? Still the same scoreline, but 2 minutes of time lost. And those are costly misses, 40. Not easy shots by any means, right? They're very, very difficult, tricky angles to hit. But that's what Tox needs to do. He can't Toxic. Okay,
Ooh,
I was
okay.
worried for a second. Like, watching him fall down after that rail instead of just cleaning it up with, you know, shoddy right there. I was worried for him for a second. He does get the kill, bringing it to a 4 frag difference. Here's the bounce back. Nice little jump. Here we go.
Nice catch.
Can he find him? Can he find the shot? Oh, so close. The splash damage just doesn't quite make it around the corner. But like toxjq, he's been getting some opportunities, especially with that one. The fact that Strongsage missed that rail on the drop down, that's an opportunity. Otherwise, toxjq would have been at 10 HP right now. It probably would have already been refragged. So he's been giving a lifeline by Strongsage through missing that one rail.
Oh, what? Just so many dunks. I don't even understand. This toxjq just eating those rockets, doesn't have a choice. Time is of the essence. You could tell the urgency earlier with the rocket jump back up after he got knocked down at heavy. In less than 2 minutes now. It's even more dire as he's trailing by 4. And Strongsage again, holding top ground, playing very slow, doesn't have to do anything. The game can come to him. It's his to lose at this point, Fleet.
And it's a loss I don't imagine he will suffer. There's just not enough time. toxjq still desperately trying to catch him. There we go. There we go. Oh, misses the Goomba Stomp. Rockets are good. Might not be good enough. Oh, and the rail. The rail, leaving him at just 5 points of health. And I think that if it wasn't already over, that is going to seal the deal. That's the final nail in the coffin. Strongsage. Loving the plays there. Just the positioning 40. He knew that toxjq would have a very hard time fighting him up the angle, up the stairs. So instead he just holds it. LG out, waiting for toxjq to just run around the corner. Take the fight. Knowing that his opponent would have to try and land a pretty miraculous rocket from the low ground. And then he walks away with yet another frag. And now it's over. It's done. Strongsage will be cleaning this one up 3-0. That's exactly what he needed. Because he's still hoping to get that top 8 finish going into QuakeCon, get that good seeding for the finals. And this win is definitely going to be helping him out a lot.
Yeah, gotta be feeling good. Really well played. Entire set from Strongsage through and through. Domination, I would say, on the last map. First two a lot closer, of course, but still just doing just enough to put himself over top of the Terminator. And that makes it official 3-0 in favor of Strongsage against Tox to start off week 15 here at the Quake Pro League, and just a really good display.
It absolutely was, yeah, 3-0. I think, you know, there were opportunities for toxjq, especially on map 1 and 2, to change things around. A few critical mistakes, few key moments that could have changed the entire outcome of the series pretty late on into the map as well. But map 3 ultimately was just a blowout, and that's the one that I thought toxjq would have the best shot at. But no, Strongsage just setting up those angles, those opening few minutes. And toxjq, I hate to say it, but he gave it to him as well, right? Just kind of almost blindly walking into the room, eating rail after rail after rail, and then the few times that he did manage to catch Strongsage out, get up close and personal, the rockets, right? You commented on it multiple times, you know, the hundo before the fight even starts. Finally a good opportunity for toxjq, and what happens? Rocket the moment he enters the room, and then just Strongsage capitalizes on that.
Just really good defensive rockets through choke points from Strongsage on Molten Falls specifically. Just dunks for days, Fleas. We take a look at the breakdown on Molten Falls, the weapon percentages there. And yeah, just through and through. It was the Strongsage show on Molten Falls. First two maps a lot closer. As you said, pivotal moments in map number 1 and 2 that kind of just went Strongsage's way. It could have been vastly different. But there is the set breakdown. And that'll wrap up the first series of the day. So big shouts to Strongsage. And big sads for Tox and Tox fans here. Again, I think he was probably too far gone to be able to try and break into the top 8 and get that first day bye. So we're going to see a lot of Tox at QuakeCon, hopefully. Knock on wood.
I'm sure we will. I'm sure we will. A lot of other people coming to QuakeCon as well, right? We talked about it before we started. One more spot left for the challengers. Whoever from North America will be joining us, will find out in due time. But hey, plenty of matches left to go today.
Yeah, 4 more, I believe. We're going to take a quick break. You can talk amongst yourselves on who's going to win the NA qualifiers. Why not? That could be spicy. But we'll be back with more Quake Pro League action right after this.